What's up and welcome back to my channel. This is the hilarious Hallie here today with yet another video. Today I am going to be showing y'all guys how to do a makeup routine with every single individual item being under $5 or $5 and under. This is my everyday makeup routine for the most part. I do have some more higher end products that I will throw into the mix, but for the most part I typically use pretty cheap stuff, and that is what we are going to be doing today, and I am very excited to share this with you. So let's get into
the makeup look.
The first product I'm going to use kind of stretches the $5 budget over about $1. So this is the e.l.f. primer. This is a great primer. I really like it. It originally was $5, but I realize now that e.l.f. has made their products more. So you used to be able to get this primer for $5. Now I think it's $6 to $8. Where I bought it, it was only $6, so it pushes a little bit. Primers tend to be on the more expensive side, so I'm not that upset by this one, and this does last a really long time. I really like it because it's for all skin types. It's kind of a combination skin one. You don't really have to have a particular type of skin to use it. It really works well for my skin, and I have dry skin, and so that's what I do. I usually do 3 fingers of it. I do mainly in my under eye because that's mainly where I put my concealer, and then I just dab the rest on and blend it out. So that is the primer. Next we are going in with concealer. This concealer is the concealer I've done in all of my makeup videos I've ever posted. This is the Wet n Wild concealer. This is their Photo Focus concealer. And it's a really good concealer. I personally use the lightest shade. Y'all could have already known that. I really like it. It's not super full coverage, but it's just enough. And I find that it just really blends into my skin just how I want it to. It goes. I typically only put concealer on my under eye, and then sometimes I'll do a little bit on my chin. And I just blend this with a beauty blender. I find it really nice to use a beauty blender for this concealer. It blends it out so well, and I really like it. And again, it's not the most full coverage concealer you've ever seen in the world. However, I have the worst dark circles to show concealer on because my dark circles have been bad since I was a wee lad, okay? So, you know, we're just here. I have my concealer blended. We're going to move on to setting powder. This has seen better days, honey, okay? This is the Stay Matte by Rimmel. It's a really nice setting powder. It is super cheap, really great powder. I like to use a little brush. I used to like do the bake thing with your sponge when I set, but I found that I have really dry skin, so doing that is not always the best. So I just kind of like to sweep a little bit of powder on, nothing too crazy. I do not think this is the best powder in the world. However, it does the job. It sets your makeup. They also have it in more shades. I just use the transparent one. Next step is brows. I used to never do anything with my brows, but I recently liked doing just a quick fill in with a spoolie. And for that one, I use the NYX Tinted Brow Mascara. This one varies in price depending on where you're buying it from. So if you go to a CVS, it's going to be more to $6 to $8. If you go to a Walmart, it's more in the $5 range. Call it NYX. Some people say NYX. I don't know which one it is, but this is the NYX brow or NYX brow. I just don't know. There are the brows. This brow got a little darker than what I normally like it at, but you know, I'm not going anywhere, so it's fine.
But that are the brows.
Very easy and done like that. Next, we are going to go on to face kind of bronzer and highlighter. The bronzer and highlighter I use are from Wet n Wild. I have this Wet n Wild bronzer here. This is their Color Icon set. It's just a very pretty bronzer. I really like it. It's very light because I am very light. For highlighter, I use a Wet n Wild highlighter. This is in the shade Precious Petals. You can see it has seen better days. I've used this one forever. For my bronzer, I just like to take a little blush brush, and that's what I use, and I just dapple it on. I just like to pat it in and do a little and just kind of pat it on. So as you can see, it just adds some color. It does add quite a bit of shine, but we're going to add some highlighter. I typically just do it like that. I do a little bit on my nose, and then I will take a little bit and I will go up and I will just dapple that onto my forehead just a little bit on the corners. That's bronzer, and as you can see, it is super shiny, so I don't put too much highlighter on. I just put a little bit on. I just like to take this little fan brush, put some on, tap it, go like that, and go like that, and that is honestly all you need for this highlighter. I like this because it makes your face, it's like one of those products that make your face almost look like dewy, glowy, and they don't look like you have like pounds of makeup on your face. Okay, so the best thing that I've learned in makeup is the fact that you don't need specific products for every specific part of your face. Sometimes something that goes on your cheeks can easily also go on your eyes. So for eyeshadow, I typically use my bronzer and my highlighter. Now, please be careful when doing this. For instance, you don't want to put product on your eye that's specifically not meant for your eye. So I like to take my bronzer, and I like to take this really cute flat fluffy brush, and I just tap her into there, and I like to take this and I go into my crease of my eye and I just kind of tap it. Then I like to take my highlighter and cover my lid in my highlighter. So I take my highlighter, I take a flat brush, I go ahead and grab some of this. Then I like to take my setting spray. This is the Wet n Wild. This is the Photo Focus. It's really amazing. This is like one that's supposedly supposed to last for 12 hours, and it is a very nice setting spray. I will say I like it, but I like to spray my brush with it, and I like to go ahead and take that, put it on my brush now that it's wet so that it kind of holds that pigment, and I like to take it from my inner corner, right here, my inner corner, and drag the pigment. Once I do that, this is such a pretty natural look. Obviously, we still have mascara and lips to get to, but I like to set it here. I don't like setting over my mascara. I find that sometimes a setting spray does make my eyes water, and if I do it over my mascara,
we all know what happens when your eyes water with mascara. It just is not a fun party.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and spray this on. Again, same one that I just wet the brush with. Usually to let that set on my skin, I also take a thicker, like firmer beauty blender, and I kind of just pat it in on my skin. I typically avoid my bronzer area. I go like that because if I pat over the bronzer, then we're just gonna be dragging bronzer all over. It does dry down matte. It also is so nice because it's typically hot in my room, so when I'm doing my makeup, I put my setting spray on and
I'm like, oh my gosh,
because I'm all of a sudden like super cooled off because this stuff is cold, and I just love setting sprays. I watch so many beauty YouTubers talk and just talk about setting sprays, and I was like, honey, it is mist you are putting on your skin, it cannot be that good. And then I used setting spray for the first time and I was like,
dang sis.
okay, next we're gonna do mascara. I will admit that this is not the mascara I use every single day. The mascara I use every single day is a $25 mascara that somebody gave me. I did not buy it because
Is that funny? I would never be able to afford buying $25 mascara.
But this is another great second choice mascara I like to use. This is the Max Volume Mascara by Wet n Wild. I know a lot of these products are by Wet n Wild. Wet n Wild is just the best cheap makeup brand. So this is their waterproof hydrofuge mascara, and I hate the packaging because it's pink, but I kind of like the shininess. I will say though, it is so pink, and your girl does not like pink. I like it though because if you see the applicator, it is a rubber tip applicator, which is something that I really like. And hello?
Look, I can touch fire.
I like to curl my lashes before. Again, lash curlers are so dirt cheap. You can like buy them basically anywhere. They're just the best. Okay, time to put the mascara on. I mean, but look at it. Like, look at my lashes. I do lips. For lips, I personally have very pigmented lips naturally, and I'm not trying to be like,
Oh my gosh, I have such pigmented lips.
but I like the pigment of my natural lips. I feel like that's how my lips look best because that's naturally how they look on my face. So I just typically go in with a lip balm. I like to use lip plumper. So this is a soft lip lip plumper. It is so nice and it feels so good, and it's clear. It's just nice It makes my lips hydrated, but it also has that plumping effect, and I really like it. This is the final makeup look. I'll place some close-ups so that y'all guys can actually see it. And I like this makeup look because it's one of those makeup looks where you have it on and people aren't like, oh, well, she has makeup on. You know what I'm saying? And not that it's bad. If you want to go full glam every day, honey, do it. But this is a way that you can still look
Fine and fresh
with your makeup and cue it from an affordable price. That is the video today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like down below. Make sure you subscribe, share with friends, and ring the bell icon to get notified of when I upload all that boring YouTuber stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, and as freaking always, I freaking love ya. Bye, guys.